Well, hello the new, and once again it's me, Leonard Wells, broadcasting from Studio B here in the Giggle Mill in downtown Haslingden, north of Manchester. Once again, I'm obliged to have as my studio engineer that very sweet chap, Adolf Apfelstrudel from Berchtesgaden in Bavaria. Technically perfect, unfortunately he's a disciplinarian and won't permit me more than 12 digital megaburgers, which means that once again I have to deny you the all-time thrill of hearing and seeing my world-famously forgettable rendition of Nessun Dorma. Thank you. My little ditty this afternoon concerns a zoo. This particular zoo was very hard up. And it spent all its money on the grounds and the surroundings and the bushes and the trees and the restaurant and everything, then found it had no money to buy a gorilla to put in the gorilla cage. So they advertised for an actor to play the gorilla in a suit. And Daniel, who was a Jewish actor, he was down and out, and he said told his agent, I'll take any part that comes along, no matter what it is. One day his agent rings him and says, there's an actor needed to play gorilla. So he says, I'll have it, I'm on my way. So he goes down to the zoo, and he gets into the gorilla suit, and he starts to jump around in the cage. And he takes the job very seriously. Once he stopped feeling embarrassed that the customers would see through his disguise, he stared back at the crowds who were watching his every move. And eventually he starts to be amused by all this attention, knowing he's putting one over on them, hanging upside down from branches and swinging on the vines and climbing up the cage walls and roaring and beating his chest. And eventually he starts to draw a sizable crowd. But one day he overdoes it, and while he's swinging on the vine to showing off to some children, his hand slips. He goes flying over the wall into the lion's den. Oh, he was terrified. He backed up as far as he could away from the approaching lion, covers his eyes with his imitation paws, and starts to pray aloud. Hear, O Israel, the Lord our God, the Lord is one. The lion approaches closer and closer, opens its powerful jaws and roars. Blessed is the name of his glorious kingship forever and ever. From the next cage, a panda bear whispers to them both, shut up, you schmucks, you'll get us all fired. Thank you, and good night, folks.